It does. Hi, Mercy.
So today on Let's Talk, we're talking about Tableau. And who else will be talking about Tableau other than a friend of mine, Michael Olorunfemi, a phenomenal human being. Oh, sugar. And I'd just like to
Oh, you're muted, Mercy. Hang on.
Okay, so one of the testimonials from YouTube is playing out. Sorry, I had to mute. Okay, I'm not sure who, let me close the meeting. It's just a private meeting. Okay, so we're just going to be talking about purely your journey, how you've been, how you made it towards where you are. So I'll start with, first and foremost, the goal of Let's Talk is spotlighting brilliant Nigerian people or Africans that have done amazing work and lifted themselves with no tech experience and building a tech career. And just the goal is to make sure you understand that it is that easy to get into the tech space. You don't require any master's degree. You don't require any certification is really not important in the scale of learning agile or learning about getting into tech. So I have a singular pleasure of a friend of mine that I'm interviewing, is live streaming on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, on all our Twitter social channels. So if you want to learn, if you're on Instagram, please jump onto YouTube and you'll be part of the conversation. But before we kick start, I'd like you to introduce yourself. My name is Mercy George-Igbafe. I'm the founder of LEARNTOR, a digital strategist passionate about tech. I'm a late boomer into tech. I'm sure you all know that. So I'm an old ag coming into the tech space and trying to make a difference. So I have the singular pleasure of inviting a friend of mine that we started this journey together just recently, a few years back. And today is the dawn of Tableau. So Michael, I'd like you to introduce yourself, let the people get to know who you are. How about that?
Great. Thank you, Mercy. That was a very warm introduction. I really appreciate that. So I'm Michael. I pretty much, as Mercy said, we grew up together, studied together, should I say, in this digital field, this IT field, and we actually studied, from, well, should I say, from a software testing background, cutting through to data analytics. And for me, it was probably, I was in a place where I was trying to find where my passion, within this career field lay in. So long story short, I am one of the lucky few, should I say, that were able to grasp, the opportunity that was laid before me when it came to learning, like the digital transformation experience that was going across every company, especially in this time that we're in, where everything is just done remotely. I took the opportunity some years ago, and having crossed paths with Mercy as well. We pretty much took the opportunity ourselves to get the right skill set on board, the right experience, the right internship, and with that being said, I managed to find my path. So as I did mention, going from a software testing background, I found a passion for testing, doing software testing manually. And then came the idea of, software testing automation. That sparked my interest as well. I found myself using tools such as Selenium, and like other automated tools for testing purposes. And right through there, I found myself testing databases. And I think that's where the interest sparked for me to work with data. Having worked with data warehouse testing, testing databases, the integrity of the data, it just gave me an insight as to how the full picture of data is yet to be, like uncovered for myself. And that's when I had that like eureka moment that, there's so much you can explore and do in terms of, like learning and using data for your own, like, for your own good. And right there, I knew I had to take a deep dive in. And, the next thing I knew, I started hearing all these huge keywords, big data, your Hadoops, your data visualization, your data modeling, or like all of these sort of keywords started flying in. And at that point, again, I knew that, I had to sort of focus on one certain area and study. And then, and I guess that's where the passion for, for business intelligence actually grew out. And I guess in a nutshell, you can see that the journey of every data enthusiast is that he actually cuts through every channel, like every different stage of working with data. So for myself, I would say that I did find the right passion for me, and it was just a question of myself going, okay, how can I use this skill set to apply value? How do we use data to bring value? I think that's always the main question that everybody should be asking themselves, right from a business owner to anyone, to anybody, even to a customer. Even we as consumers too, we consume things on a daily basis. We're literally we're literally like walking data, if I should put it that way. So if you can actually consume data yourself, and knowing, like, without knowing, should I say, we actually, make use of the data that we gather ourselves every day, and I'm talking data like, like someone who is looking at how many times they spend, using their apps on their phone, to your local average woman who is running on the treadmill, checking how much her steps are every day. We're actually consuming data every day, like without knowing that without knowing it, if I should say it that way. Yeah. So it's interesting to see how working with data is, and how we actually, bring value doing that. So again, long story short, when knowing what kind of value you can bring towards this skill set, then you start thinking about, okay, the bigger picture. How do companies actually take actionable insights with their data? How does that bring value to businesses? How does that bring value to companies and everybody else? And I think that's the picture here. Once you know how to create the value, then you know that you're hot cake, So yeah, that's kind of like my story in a nutshell, and how I ended up with BI as a whole. And through this business intelligence career opportunity that I've sprung myself into, it's also created other opportunities for myself, and I'm talking from the aspect of when working with data, that you can go beyond, you don't have, the journey doesn't stop there for you as an employee. You can actually, like, scale as much as you want. You can start a business if you want. There's so much you can do. So anyway, let me cut it there before
I like the fact that you started off with our journey where we met, learning together. I remember how you got so passionate and excited about Selenium and said, Mercy, I think I got it. I'm going software testing. And I remember Josiah saying to me, Mercy, do you know that testing is beyond just doing functional testing? It's way, way deeper. And we had to start troubleshooting, learning with Selenium. So that speaks to the fact that many people want to get into tech. They are very scared of where to start from. They don't know which one, because one of our alumni, Namdi, said something recently, and he said, what he knows today, he wishes he knew them before. It would have been a shock. What he now knows is like a fish in the pond. It is so powerful, that statement, because we are coming to a space of where these people have always known tech. They've always lived tech. All their life is about tech. And we're trying to find our way. We have to start with, remember, We started software testers, evolved to business analysts, remember? Then we took on quite a lot of projects. You became a project manager. At the same time, I became a project manager. Then we now evolved into data. I could just see when your light bulb went boom, mercy, this is it. Then I now reached out to a friend of mine that I just happened to meet at that point, Deji Folarin. And I said, come and show us the magic. The guy did some magic. It was like, this is voodoo. How do you do this? And he now came and showed us about Power BI. And that was where we started from. Then you now evolved into Tableau. And today you work with BT. I mean, who would have thought?
Yeah.
Just in the space of how many years you have evolved. Can you tell us how you were able to discover this was where you were going to settle? And then we'll talk about the career opportunities within the space of being a data analyst, because I say to people there are over 11 career paths. There's a project manager that understands data. There's a business analyst that because you can't even work without data. We are a living being of data. So would you like to educate us how you were able to say, no, I'm not doing BA, I'm not doing project management, I'm not doing software testing. I am solely focusing on data. And look at the growth that you've experienced and the awards and accolades that you have achieved. Would you like to educate us on that?
No, definitely. I mean, you mentioned one of the experiences that we had when we had a gentleman show us how Power BI was being used. And I think that blew my mind, definitely. Apologies for my background noise, by the way. Got like ambulances and stuff going on. I don't know
it's all right.
But yeah, so there was that demo that happened, and really and truly, it blew my mind. I've never seen, like data cleansing at its finest there when he showed us that ETL process within Power BI, using Power Query, how he created, like, how he was able to generate like calculations within Power BI. I think that was mind blowing on its own. But I think that journey actually started before that for me. So it wasn't actually then. I think what actually, gave me that moment where I realized this was the career path I wanted to take. It was when I noticed that on my internship with Mercy, I noticed that in and through our work experience project that we had at the time, I noticed that almost every different department were utilizing data, right from the project manager to the business analyst to even our developer who was helping to build the software that we were working on at the time. We were all using data in one way, in one shape or form. And I think that's what connected the dots for me, that, hang on a minute, I know I can actually focus on this and then bring out the insights that our stakeholders need, because every meeting I had, it was literally one question and one question only that the stakeholders were interested in. And that question was, what is the data telling us? And again, I found myself going back and reworking, re-engineering on the requirements, literally just for that question only. So it's amazing what, what data can actually do to the whole full framework of a project. Like, without the data, I think that it's just meaningless, right? You would agree with me saying. And I think that's where, for me personally, because my journey started just like any other BA, coming on board to like any project, trying to, grab requirements, gather requirements and start fleshing them out. Like, literally, I felt like I had that waterfall mindset. Like, I just walked in step by step. But when the data was added to the picture, I think it just built this agile playground for everybody. Like, whoa, requirements could change like that. And that's when you realize that, oh my God, like this is actually interesting, And for me, that's where the passion just started forming itself. Like, I started gaining that passion. In the blink of an eye, I just realized right there and then what I wanted to do. Because I'll tell you the honest thing, and this is not to shun down any BA or any aspiring project manager, but I think you would agree with me in saying this, that there's only so much fun you can have trying to write a business case, trying to write requirement, like user stories and all of that.
And that was hard, Michael, by the way.
I can imagine.
That was hard. only
Yeah,
for
yeah.
business model Canva just to pop up. That
Just
was
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
I mean, you recall when we would do a whole user story together. We spend literally like months trying to put this together, only for the stakeholder to literally just like, like close, like literally just tell us, listen, sorry, let's create this and start it over again. And that wasn't based on our performance, but it was based on the how do you say it, the change of the scope of the requirements. And that only happens when you don't have any actionable insights from your data to let you know what direction you should take. We found ourselves running around in circles, not because of our decision, but primarily it came down to your higher ups, who even they themselves weren't even utilizing the data that they had in front of them. So so that for me was what actually, I think at the time it did frustrate me a lot, because I felt like without the data needed, we were running around in circles like headless chickens. And it's not fun. It's not fun, like spending time, and spending God knows how long just to write a whole plan for it to be just like pushed to one side. Do you know what I mean? So I think the only way that I could actually like get myself out of that situation was knowing how to utilize data. And I think data in itself actually saves time, and it actually gives time for you to really like re-engineer your requirement. And I think that's all it is here, that data itself needs to start right from the initiation of the project, and that's one thing I learned really quickly. So as I said, for me, it was a no-brainer. I had to start working with data. So I was working with data as a BA, should I say BA/tester or whatever. I mean, I was still trying to find my feet at the time. So I was just working with data anyway, anyhow. Let me just, let me see how this thing can help me. And as it gets, yeah.
So I think, yeah, it's quite interesting that because you're a BA and
Yeah.
you're a troubleshooter, you're always trying to translate business requirements into technical requirement. There is no way of not understanding data. So let's talk about Tableau, okay? I personally love Tableau. Although I'm a Microsoft certified trainer on the Power Platform for business intelligence, I still love Tableau. And I think Tableau was the number one before Microsoft woke up and like gave them a run for the money. And today, Microsoft Business Intelligence Power BI is number one in terms of ranking. But this is quite a skill that is actually sought after. So you're going online, you're looking for job opportunity, they are recruiting for Tableau expert. Because all of this conversation is Michael and I are planning a training on data analytics to teach you Tableau. And it's not just teaching you Tableau as well, it's going to be teaching you Tableau with SQL, okay? So this is very critical. So number one, if you like to learn, just listen, we'll talk about it in the end. So the goal is to sensitize you. There are skills that you don't need any certification, you don't need any prior knowledge in tech. It's about learning. So long as you have a learning mindset, you can change the narrative. Today, Michael works at BT, British Telecom, and that is a huge deal. If you don't understand, go on Google, okay? A lot of Black people, when they're abroad, they're either doing healthcare, mental health, and all. Nothing wrong with those careers, but white-collar jobs, it's not common for Black people in this space. So this is the time for you to wake up and start to develop skills that the world needs today. Every business has data. Every organization has data. What are you doing with the data is a critical question. So tell us about Tableau and the kind of solution that you were able to develop before we talk about you training Tableau.
Great. Yeah, sure, definitely. So I like how you also mentioned Power BI being one of the top visualization tools now that's highly ranked. Power BI I was also fortunate to utilize Power BI while getting into my previous work. And I would say with Tableau being the fact that it's actually one of the best like tools out there when it comes to data visualization. I mean, it's right up there with Power BI. Both tools are like phenomenal for what they do. And I've been fortunate enough to work with both tools in my previous work. So I use both Power BI and Tableau for my last place of work. And now I currently use Tableau. So I guess with Tableau, being said, with Tableau, the key thing here to always remember, as I mentioned right at the beginning, is you always want to think of how to bring value, right? How do you bring value, or how do you solve a problem? Like, that's always one of the key things that you also have to always remember before actually making use of the tool. Now, I'll be quite honest with you. I actually came to Tableau because I just loved what it did. I just loved the visualization. I loved generating charts on the fly, and building stuff, dashboards, to be specific. But again, as time went on, I started to realize the importance of actually creating value with the tool, and not just using the tool because you can use it. And I say this to explain that, yes, these tools there are so much resources online that you can find with using such tools. There are so many forums you can go to, especially YouTube. A lot of these tools are kind of like self-taught, but one thing you can't be taught like online is how to apply this in a business working like environment. Like, how do you actually use it to generate value? I think that's the thin line between just knowing how to use a tool, and then there's the other aspect of it, which is knowing how to drive revenue, drive growth, drive whatever the objective may be for that tool. And now, what I can say with Tableau is it's allowed me to like experience both. I've seen Tableau from a freelancer kind of perspective, where you just you love the tool for what it's worth. I actually use Tableau for my own personal use. Funny enough, I use it to create metrics for myself, and I would advise people to do the same as well. It probably doesn't have to be Tableau, but any analytical tool that allows you to keep yourself organized. Tableau actually does that for me. Now, when it comes to where I work and just applying value in general, it's interesting to see the change there, where in terms of what companies require of you to create the tools. And you would notice that a lot of companies, it's not like they don't have the people for this, right? Like I said, anybody can learn tools, right? But I guess here for me, one of the key things, and why we're having this conversation here, is how does one use the mindset of utilizing such tools like Tableau, and then go to the very next step of actually bringing value, like actually like generating something through that. Because again, your data is one thing, but then creating like an actionable insight with that data is another thing. And so for me, I can really and honestly say that Tableau has allowed me to bring out like some of those like skill sets in myself that I didn't know I had. For example, problem solving. I spend so much time problem solving on Tableau, and I tell you what, one of the best things about Tableau is you can spend so much time staring at the data on a spreadsheet or anything, but when you see your data in full flesh, like in visualization, it's so clear. Like the sort of KPIs that you want to create for yourself or for your company, or the sort of metrics that you put for yourself. It's crucial to see this like in a visualization format, because it allows you to understand that data. It's so simple, and not just the simple aspect, but also for you to be able to measure certain things within your metrics. Like Tableau allows you to do that effortlessly. Another good thing about Tableau as well, it's a very great communication.
Okay, Michael, don't let's give everything away, right? No. Anyway, so because it's a 30 minutes conversation, we started a little late.
Yeah.
The goal of this conversation is to let you know that you can learn Tableau. Okay, I started off learning Tableau before I Deji converted me to Microsoft Power BI, and honestly, we did magic together using Tableau. And today, Michael works with BT. They are an organization looking for data analysts. I saw a job advert the other day in Nigeria. The number of data analysts a lot of organizations are looking for today has really surged to 30%. And the reason for that is many organizations have data, but they don't know what to do with the data. They don't know how to use that data to make informed decisions. And that's why we have a data analytics class that is scheduled. And guess what? Really, this is because it's the first of its kind, and we want you to learn. As you know, LEARNTOR is all about democratizing that knowledge and making it easy and accessible to you. And that's why we have partnership with organizations like Scrum.org, support from Kanban University, and the whole 9 yards. And we have great trainers that have collaborated with us because they believe strongly in what we do and what we stand for. So this is indeed an exciting conversation that I'm having with Michael. For those that are on Instagram, jump on YouTube and you see the video there. It's still going to be there. And on Facebook, just search for LEARNTOR. So we're going to be having a data analytics. It's a weekend-only class every Saturday for like four Saturdays, right? And it's going to be taking you on Tableau. And Michael is going to be bringing elements of SQL into the training, okay? Somebody just type, guess how much it's going to be for, how much the course is. Let me just give you the shocker. The course is just costing you nothing more than, okay, there's a, okay, Akishola said, Aladesomi, oh, Aladesomi, I know. Okay, great conversation, Mercy. Data analytics is the way all organizations are heading. Absolutely. So that's on Twitter. If you have any question on LinkedIn, please drop it in the chat. I'll respond to them, or Michael can respond to them. So if you'd like to learn about Tableau, learn about SQL, an introduction to SQL, because you will need the language, structured query language, to be able to equally enjoy Tableau or any of this feature. It's only 50,000. Michael, I actually bent his hand and said, come, let's do it for the community. This is for the community, right? Because if you go online and check how much people are doing training, including SQL, you will be shocked at the cost implication. So if you're interested in taking this training with us, the link is going to be dropped in this particular video, or you watch out for the video tomorrow, and we'll be talking about. So Michael, would you like to give people context to what they will be learning? So yes, so let's just give them context. What would they be learning through this process, and the fact that it has changed your life, and today you're earning, I don't want to go into the figures. Anybody can Google how much a Tableau professional is earning. So we are delighted. It's a joy for me to be working with Michael. We've started not far away, not too long ago. And today we're both making a difference in our lives individually and in the lives of the people that we are mentoring. We were both mentors together to people that we help to get jobs. So it's a weekend only class, a 3 Saturday. If we need to extend it for another 4 Saturday, what we guarantee you is you will do some magic. You know, like I told you, we're wild. You will learn how to visualize. You learn how to clean data. You learn how to be able to use that data to make informed decision. And you learn introduction to structured query language. But let me get Michael to tell us about what the offering is and what people are going to get out of it. Michael.
Great. So, as Mercy mentioned, you know, the salaries for most of your Tableau professionals, it can be quite lucrative. So your average Tableau professional could earn anything from $50,000 to $80,000 annually, on even more based on your years of experience. And, you know, again, as I mentioned, based on what value you can bring to the company, they could charge you way up to 100K annually. It all comes down to your experience and like what you actually can bring to the company. So for this case of our course of learning, we are going to cover quite a lot. So I will try to get everyone to understand number one, how to use Tableau for data cleansing, how to use Tableau for data modeling, and also how to use Tableau for data visualization to drive actionable insights. And it's not just about creating your charts and creating like a dashboard. It's about how to drive the insights from the dashboard that you're creating. Also, Mercy did mention SQL. SQL language as well does tie hand to hand with Tableau. Yes, I use SQL a lot when I'm creating my dashboards. I use SQL to actually connect to my data sources to grab the data that I need for my visualization. So yes, we will talk about how to use SQL, not from a SQL platform point of view. So not your Oracles, not your MySQL. We'll actually talk about it more from a data analyst point of view. I think that's where you would find more value in this training. So unless you want to go really deep into data administration and go into database management, then there would be SQL would probably be more than, you'd probably need to learn more than just how to write a few SQL codes, if you know what I mean. But because we're looking at this from a Tableau point of view, where it comes to data, a data visualization specialist, we're going to look at how we use SQL to interact with the data that we need. So yes, we will be learning a bit of how to use SQL to drive or to gather our data. And then we'll also be looking at how to pretty much how to optimize our reportings too, and how to then use that in a business context. And I think the key thing here to get out of this is also how to apply this in a business environment, in a working environment. I think that's the crucial part from this training here. We're not learning just for how to play with Tableau in our bedrooms and how to, this is going beyond how to use Tableau in a working environment, so that when the opportunity is presented to you, you will know how to speak and how to actually talk to your recruiting agency or to your whoever that might be interviewing you, and you're talking from an experience point of view, not as, oh, I learned this on YouTube, or I learned this on, So again, that's making it very clear what our teaching would be. It's not going to be your generic Tableau trainings that you follow online. Those are, to me, as far as I'm concerned, those are okay if you just want to know how to use the tool. But if we're talking about how to use it in the business context and how to work within a remote remote place where you're utilizing the tool with other stakeholders, with your project managers, your dev, your anybody, even your data engineering team, we need to look at how that is done from that context. And I think when you actually start to look at it from an organization point of view, where there are more people in the picture, I think it actually makes it a lot clearer what to expect, right? And this is a lot better for you to prep yourself when you really get out there, because yes, you will be going into the firing line. There's not going to be any sort of like how do you say, like spoon feeding when it comes to working with data visualization. Like, most companies would expect you as the subject matter expert, as the professional that you are, to be able to jump right in.
Exactly.
The requirements. So there won't be no spoon feeding, unfortunately. And this is why we need to look at it from a business context, rather than, oh, click this to build a dashboard. Okay, we can't do that. If you want to do that, you go to YouTube.
YouTube is your friend. Yeah.
It's free for that.
And let me tell you, during our co-mentoring session, we mentored people that got jobs immediately. Because the goal of it is not theoretical training. That's one thing LEARNTOR prides itself with. We're not about theory, because you can get theory on YouTube. Just watch the video, Take your time, invest in it. But if you need the hand holding, enjoy the community support, this is what you need.
Exactly. And you'll be hearing it. Yeah. Sorry, just to add on to that. And you're hearing it from someone who is actually in the working field. I can tell you what's happening for real, like what's happening now. Not what happened 5 years ago, know what happened 10 years ago with Tableau.
I love it.
And we're talking like now, what's the problem now that companies are facing?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's supposed to have you ready psychologically when you're actually going out there, not just knowing it for knowing's sake. So there we go.
I want to sincerely thank you so much, Michael, for coming to share your personal journey. Sometimes people think that when you succeed, it just happened overnight. It required a lot of sacrifice. Michael, we didn't have social life. When we were started, every night we were burning candles, taking on several projects for us to be where we are today. We knew it was important. We knew we had to be hungry to make a difference. We had a lot of people that were along us in the same program. I don't know how many of them are doing so well today. So you have an opportunity to stand out and stand tall and be part of the change that the world is seeking for today. Don't remain where you are. See, ignorance is no longer an excuse in today's tech world. You can't say, I don't know. You are using a mobile device every day. You are using a mobile device. So long as you have a mobile device, it means you have been technologically transformed. But what is that device doing for you is the real question. So if you'd like to sign up for this program, I dare you to say it will be a game changer for you, because we're not just focused on taking theory. You will be able to create dashboard. You will be able to make business decisions. You will be able to understand what employers, what business owners, what you need to see in that data to be able to communicate. So we have another one, which is about business intelligence on Power BI. This is strictly about Tableau, and we look forward for you to signing up. Content will be out tomorrow. Please share if you know that you're already savvy in this sector, and you know there are people that are not technically savvy and they want to change their skill, they want to reskill, they want to upskill. Today is your time. And I want to thank you, Michael, for your time. And I look forward for us to doing this session together and changing the trajectory. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Mercy. It's a pleasure again for us to be collaborating and, driving some kind of, change here for everyone who is enthusiastic about data and Tableau. So yeah, this is actually going to be an interesting journey, It's been a while. As I said, me and Mercy we haven't actually met up. We had a chance to meet up, funny enough, in anyway.
That's when you came to Nigeria.
Yeah, when I came to Nigeria, yeah. So that was, I was there for for family, family holiday.
You were being policed not to go anywhere because of the insecurity of the country.
Yeah, I get it. I had a coffee to adhere to, but no, yeah, it's really good again to see you on video call and to be working with you once this kicks off. It's going to be a journey, and I'm sure it's going to be many more to come as well. This again, like I said, an opportunity for everyone. Whatever kind of stage you're at, you don't want to just cut yourself short of where you're at based on the kind of experience you've had so far. You can't really just judge on your past experience. You need to come here with just a clear mindset and having a clear objective as to where you really want to put yourself, in this digital field that we're in now, and if data is what you're after and what you want to get a grasp of, then trust me, this is the best sort of opportunity to take. This is like the door opener for you, should I say. As I said, it opens to many other doors. I've had colleagues who have come just to learn data visualization, and I do it this way, not that it's small, but I'm saying in terms of having that door open for you, this is how much of the opportunity you can take. The door opens for you, you get your first foot into the door, as into the industry, to put it point blank. You enter into the industry knowing that you have a good understanding and a good experience as to how you can use data. If you come from the data visualization angle, which I have also had the opportunity to enter the industry in, it exposes you to so many other areas of data that you don't even, I'm telling you, your brain wouldn't be wouldn't be able to even contain it, right? Like, let's not even start talking about your data modeling sort of like skills, or your data manipulation skills, your predictive modeling skills, how you're using data to create algorithms. Like, there's just so much things that I've seen, and it blows your mind away. I'm telling you, it blows your mind away. And yeah, like, there's no other way to get involved than to just having that first step, taking that initiative, and getting your foot through the door. And I tell you what, the journey definitely does not end here. You know, I myself now, and I'm going on to opening my own business now. I've got my own team of like freelancers who would work for me, and we're actually giving like value to businesses around the world. And you don't even want to know how much we're charging. You know, I'm telling you, all my staffs have been like well paid for. You know, as long as you have the skill set that I need, everybody is making good income, and that's how we all grow together. And the funny thing is, I've never met any single one of them. We all work remotely, all of us. I have colleagues in Asia, colleagues in Ghana, Nigeria, even around Europe as well, colleagues in Germany that I've never met in my life. And and this is the beauty of the digital age we're in. Like, just one step into the industry and you can just unfold so many other opportunities that are just waiting for you. And these are money that you're yet to tap into. If I should put a point, if I should make it like very specific, we're all here to make money. Let's be real, But the opportunity starts from you taking that initiative, and understanding where the value sits in. You can't demand something if you don't bring no value to the table. And if you use that in the IT world, in this field that we're in, it's pretty much the same. You have to bring value to be able to get anything back.
Absolutely. Anyway, thank you so much. Hopefully that even exposes people that are going to learn to potentially one of the freelancers where they can start to earn with you, so long as they can prove their work.
Definitely. I'm always trying to get more people on board and hire more people. So definitely, I'm telling you, it's there's so many, and it's not just myself. I have colleagues too with agencies, and
awesome.
like Tableau agencies, where we actually hire people on a monthly basis.
Fantastic.
And the money is mind blowing. I'm telling you, like, businesses are craving. They're craving to find analysts. Like, I'm talking over like from 5 to 10K in US dollars that a lot of these analysts are getting paid. And it would be for like the most, I don't want to say the most simplest thing, but you would imagine the use cases that come to the table, and you'd be like, oh, you would be surprised how simple, but again, effective, right? Like, your value can be. And this is why I say create the value. This, like I said, this does not just end with you going into a 9-to-5. No. We're taking it way beyond. We're changing lives. We're retiring young. And that's
right?
That's the
Thank
plan.
you so much, Michael. I look forward to us starting the class. Flyer will be out tomorrow. I'll call you later today. Thank you. And I look forward to us transforming and helping people develop skills as Tableau expert. Have a good day.